This upcoming team here might be one of the teams that really break the current meta, as I had so many people just getting hardballed with their teams, which was hilarious. We're going to take a look today at a very expensive team, to be fair, built around the Trevenant, as Trevenant seems to be one of the Pokemon nowadays that are not really that useful anymore because of the recent update of Wing Attack. But yeah, hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a very strong team for the current meta. This team is based around Trevenant and tries to really get this Pokemon into the position where it can shine, which is still very easy to do. Even though Trevenant, like the best Trevenant answer with the Noctowl is basically everywhere, your team here going to be the Bastion in the lead. You could theoretically use something like Registeel in the lead or also the Stunfisk in the lead. But if you can, I would really recommend you to use Bastion in here. What you're going to have here as a say-swap is, unlike you might expect, not the Trevenant, but it's going to be our Medicham. The thing is, we have two answers for potential answers for the it's called for the Bastion in the back. We're going to see here, for example, Lantern. We're going to swap in our Medicham, and because we're going to have the lead of the Bastion in here, we're always going to get out the Noctowl. I don't think, at least I can't remember where I have a single time my Trevenant aligned against the Noctowl, because I always gonna get it out with my Medicham anyway. And the cool thing about this one as well is you win the zero shields, usually at least, which makes it all way better. Now my opponent has a Frosted in the back, like the opponent would have hardwalled me the entire way through, but because of our interesting swap there and of them going into their Noctowl, which is very good for me, I will be able to win this game here, which is a very nice. Next opponent, Swampert in the lead, horrible for us again. We're gonna go into our Medicham, and sadly we're going to get completely hardwalled here. I don't know if there is actually even a chance here anymore. Swampert in the lead, then here the Medicham against sableye. This looks very tough so far. We will be able to reach another charge move here, but I don't think they're going to shield this move up because they literally don't have to, but they're going to give me this advantage. And I need to carry this advantage until the end of the game, because otherwise there is no chance of winning this, of course. We will be able to go ahead and go for some smackdowns against the opponent sableye. We will be able to also now swap into our Trevenant against their Swampert, and of course, as already expected, they're going to have the Skarmory in the back, and Skarmory will be a very tough one here, but actually, because our Trevenant is still having access to Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, we will be able to get them super low enough that we can farm them down. And now we have two Seed Bombs stored against a Swampert of the opponent, which will knock them out, and there's not a lot that they can do about this. We will be able to win CMP as well, even if they would have two moves already, which they don't. And this is going to be a good game after getting hard-walled again, theoretically. But the face-up of Medicham right now is so good. There are way less Sableyes around in the current meta. We see here actually a very good lead, and they stay in for whatever reason for a little bit. I'm going to stay in for this here a little bit because I get them low, and I can use my energy here as well if I want to, just because I don't like the matchup against the Umbreon with my Medicham. If you didn't know, Umbreon wins the zero shield scenario against Medicham if they get one fast move advantage, which is of course not something I cannot it's something I cannot avoid if they swap into me. So this would be always something where I have to give up a shield. Like this, I don't have to give up a shield, and I get a ton of energy without even throwing my energy, which now allows me to go for Psychic against the opponent's Talonflame. They can get some energy, of course, here, but we will be able to go for another Psychic here. Psychic coming through. We'll be able to get the final shield of the opponent. And now they have two shields disadvantage. We have a perfect answer for their Pokemon, and they can just surrender already at this point of time, and they're going to do this, I think, as well. At least the Shadow Ball is coming through here still, which is going to knock out the opponent's Deoxys, and they still have the Talonflame, which actually still goes for moves for whatever reason. But there's literally nothing that they can do about this now. I think they just forfeit them app or something now. I think that, they just closed the app down. There was nothing that they can do here anymore, and we will be able to easily win this game. Next opponent, let's see what's coming in now. We're going to see Bastion against Bastion. Something where I usually try to swap out eventually. What I usually try to do here though is, first I'm going to try to get some energy advantage. The reason is, a lot of times you're going to have something like Big Dribble in the back where you can go then for one charge move afterwards. But in general, like, they don't do damage against me. I can just get free energy and this is fine. We see the Big Dribble coming in now. We have access to Ice Punch, and Ice Punch will be very decent in this matchup, especially if I shield here. This move up, I will be able to get a shield advantage. It's going to be a Leaf Tornado. Doesn't matter if they debuff you or not, you still would be able to knock them out at this point of time. But they're going to invest in their shield, and I can use my Flamethrower. I should have swapped in immediately here because I was expecting them to run the Medicham in the back, which they actually do here, and I'm going to have to swap out now into my own Trevenant against their Bastion, and this is not a good matchup for me whatsoever. I will be able to shield up the opponent's Flamethrower here, which would do a ton of damage. I can go for one Shadow Ball, but this doesn't look too good here right now. I will be able to get them pretty low though. I will get to another move eventually, but sadly they still get to another charge move in time. Flamethrower is coming through. I get a ton of energy here, but I'm just going to forfeit. I think if I threw my move before, I would have been fine. I think I needed a little bit more energy. We have a very good lead here. We have a very good safe stop against us here with the Lantern, and there is not a lot that they can do about this one again. This team is super common, Lantern in the back with like Noctowl as well. Actually interesting that people play it like this. If I would play a Lantern team, I would most likely play Medicham in the lead, Noctowl safe swap, and then the Lantern in the back, but everybody can do whatever they want to do. I don't know who made this team like viable like this. I make a mistake there by not throwing for whatever reason. Like, this was a very stupid mistake by me, and I think this might cost me the game, but I have to see. Like, I should have thrown already. Like, Seed Bomb does no damage here. It literally doesn't make sense at all that I had to shield there against the opponent's Lantern. I just misplayed pretty horribly, and we see a Medicham coming in against us now, which might cost us the game now as well, because I expected them to have Medicham. I would just change the order, to be fair. If I was the opponent, just use Medicham in the lead, use the safe swap of your Noctowl, because you have some good answers for this thing, for the what's called for the Galarian Stunfisk, so it would be a little bit better for you, but so be it. We will see the opponent going for one Psychic. I cannot shield anymore, but I will be able to get at least, hopefully, the final shield by the opponent here with my Ice Punch, and I will be able to do this. They can knock me out, but I'm actually going to save my Medicham just because the Ice Punch here and Psychic does literally 0 damage against me. I will be able to go for one Flamethrower in time, still going to knock out the opponent's Medicham. We have some extra energy still in our own Medicham. We have the Noctowl coming in here. We just have to get them low, and we have to hope that they don't get to 2 Shadow Balls here, which would knock us out most likely. We see them going for not another move. I will be able to reach the move in time, and even though I misplayed a lot there, I'm still going to be able to win this game here, which is very cool. Next opponent, we see a Lantern in the lead. Again, I'm going to swap out immediately into my Medicham. We bait out the Noctowl, which hopefully now frees the way for the Trevenant later on, as you will already be able to basically destroy one of the Pokemon, and usually they have like this core now with Medicham and stats like in the back there, but we will see that we can still get to one more charge move with our Medicham, getting the Ice Punch through, and we will be able to realign, which is even better because now we can put our Trevenant against their Lantern. And I don't know what they want to do here still. They're gonna go for the Thunderbolt, which is, I guess, a smart move. I can go for the Seed Bomb, but I misplay again, and I thought they needed one more fast move, and I tried to throw on CMP, but they have a Pelipper in the back anyway, so they run a double flying type team here, which I don't really mind too much. I will be able to go into my Bastion here, and Bastion will going to have a very decent time here. I can just go ahead and go for one Stone Edge, trying to get the shield from the opponent. I still have a ton of energy on my Trevenant, and I will be able to get them super low. Don't have to shield anything here either, and we should be in a pretty decent spot as we can farm them all the way down now. Let's see what we can do here. With the walls coming through, they're still going to have their Lantern, and I can just go for one Stone Edge if I want to. This should most likely already knock out the opponent, but we have to see here. It's going to be just barely not enough, but one more fast move will be enough. Next opponent, let's see. We will see the horrible lead here of Medicham. You're going to go into your own Medicham here, and because I know that he is running the team that I already showcased, like basically as soon as it was possible to showcase the team with Lickitung in the back and the Bastion in the back, I kind of know how to play against it. I will be able to bait correctly here, which is amazing because this allows me now to have an advantage in terms of the energy. I will be able to get my Psychic on them, which is even better, and I'm going to shield the wrong move here sadly, which is fine. But we see now the Lickitung coming in, which this allows me here is to farm a lot of energy. Sadly, it was just a little bit too slow for me to swap out. I make a mistake here. I make definitely a mistake here. Against Lickitung, the matchup with Bastion is amazing, by the way. There's not a lot that Lickitung can do here. They're going to go ahead and go for the Power Whip, which is fine, and I will be able to go for one Stone Edge now. I can go ahead and let this... Yeah, I actually get them too low here. I will be able to now farm them down, but I get them too low as I don't get enough farm here anymore. I have to stay in for a little bit, go for one flamethrower. And what I can do now is I can catch, like I can throw my Psychic here with my Medicham against their own Medicham. Will knock them out with that easily. And we see the Bastion in the back. And now we have still 3 Pokemon basically available. We get to the Psychic in time, which does basically 0 damage, but still... a little bit of damage is fine. I swap in here way too fast again. Like, I should have waited out way longer, but I usually just rush my Go Battle League sets and I don't really want to waste too much time with them. So this was kind of tricky then at the end, but I still will be able to go ahead and go for the Shadow Claws against them here. And I know that no matter how much energy they have, they will not be able to reach another move in time because they always need, I think, 2 fast moves in between, 2 Stone Edge, even at 100 energy to get to the next one. And this equals the same amount of energy I need to get to my next charge move. So this one was a good game there as well. We see Bastion again, same play as before. Usually this is either Grass Hole or sableye and whatever in the back. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and go for one charge move here first because they didn't want to throw. And what I wanted to happen here is that they throw the next one a little bit earlier than they throw this one. Let's see if they do this for me because it would be a little bit better for me. I don't really want to give them too much energy. And this time around they throw it, I think, 1 turn before like the last time there, so I gain a little bit of, I don't know, advantage there. We see the same play again. We see Victory Bell coming in. We can go for an Ice Punch. Ice Punch would knock them out, but gonna get the shield. We have to shield once, and we either get a switch advantage here or the shield advantage. Either of them I'm fine with. I will be able to go for one Ice Punch here. So we'll knock out the opponent, and they're going to go ahead and go into their own Medicham most likely. Exactly, they're going to go into their own one. I cannot go for the Psychic, I have to go for the Ice Punch, but maybe they don't know about this. And sadly they let this move go through, but we still have our Trevenant here, which will shield up the opponent's Psychic. Will be definitely a decent shield, but I make a mistake here by not swapping out earlier. If they're going to go ahead and go for one Shadow Ball, I will be able to go for one Seed Bomb, hoping... Shadow Ball, Flamethrower. I will be able to go for the Seed Bomb here to hope to get them a little bit lower. I will be able to swap out into my own Bastion now. I have 100 energy here. I can go for one Flamethrower, and I'm gonna get them low enough that I can farm them down, have some energy for the incoming Medicham, and hopefully still survive some moves here, as they're going to have to give me the final shield of them. If I don't get to the final Flamethrower in time, I will have a tough time, and I don't get there in time. I think that's going to be a good game. Sadly, they're still going to be able to win this one here, but it was a very close one. But I think I also would have been able to play it better and win this game, but like I didn't play it good, so my own fault. We see the next opponent, Bastion against Pelipper. Fine for us. Again, we have a very decent lead here. I think the wing attack buff doesn't help them too much. When Pelipper was first common, you still was able to win pretty easily against it with your Bastion. Now, like, yeah, you get to the weather balls a little bit faster, but also you're going to do less damage than before. Yeah, we'll be able to go for one Stone Edge here in time. Before they get to the next move, they're going to let this move go through, and we see a Stunfisk coming in, and we see a Noctowl coming in. Again, exactly what you want to have to happen here. You want to get maybe even a shield advantage here, which would be nice. Either you can knock out the Noctowl, or you knock out, yeah, you'll get some shield advantage and some energy back on your Bastion, which is basically exactly how this team is supposed to function. We will be able to get, yeah, the shield here, which is even better for me in my opinion, because I can go ahead and farm them all the way down. I'm gonna get closer and closer here to a Flamethrower, which will threaten some health of the opponent. Upon Stunfisk, which is very nice. I will be able to now have a shield advantage, have some health advantage, and have a very decent matchup with my Trevenant against the opponent Stunfisk, and they're going to forfeit this game, as we're going to be able to go into the final game here. You see already I like this team a lot. This team worked out so well. The strategy behind having the lead of Bastion, save swap of Medicham, and then trying to bait out the Noctowl, which works every single time, to be fair, for your Trevenant later on. It's just amazing. Like, honestly, this line itself, I can highly recommend you. It just works out so well. The opponent here actually throws like shields first, so I'm going to shield up as well. I will be able to get now both shields from the opponent, which is amazing. I could actually, I think, flip it if I didn't shield, give a shield here as well, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to let this move go through. I will be able to let this Shadow Ball go through as well, get some energy here, and I will be able to get some, keep the move alive there, and we will see Ninetales coming in. It's a Powder Snow Ninetales, which is a little bit more scary for me, but what I can do here is I actually should be able to reach 2 Seed Bombs in time because I got this 1 fast move advantage, and this will allow me to set up the game basically in a position where it's impossible for me to lose anymore, as I will be able to reach the next Seed Bomb in time as this Seraph doesn't knock me out. So yeah, this team, honestly, I can highly recommend it to you. I would definitely recommend you to use it. A lot of fun, and yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.